But he's still unconscious? Yeah, well, he's in a deep sleep for sure.
Rolled Odom over, cleared out his mouth of fluid and blood.
The fluid coming from his nose and his mouth, it's got a red coloring to it.
The male had been using cocaine.
Lamar has suffered so much loss in his life. I'm always going to be there for Lamar, especially when something as tragic as this happens.
You are seeing E's Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Joining me right now, Richard Hunter, the media relations director at Love Ranch, who actually called 911. Also with me, Dennis Hoff, owner of the Love Ranch, as it is euphemistically called. You are seeing E's Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I mean, you know, Dennis Hoff, one of the ladies you spoke about yesterday who was with him, you mentioned two ladies. Some of the ladies at your ranch, I mean, on their tax forms, they put employment whore. Okay, so anyway, yeah, you might want to work with them on that. Joining me right now, Richard Hunter, media relations director. Richard, you saw Lamar Odom. Richard, thank you for being with us, number one. When you saw him, what did you observe? And your 911 call may have saved his life if he comes out of this coma. So what did you observe when you went into the room?
He was on the bed. He was on his back. I got up on the bed. We rolled him over on his side, called 911 immediately. As soon as I looked at him, he was discolored. You know, he looked, his skin did not look healthy, and he had a yellowish mucousy fluid coming out of his nose. There was like white froth coming out of his mouth, and some pinkish blood color also coming out of his nose. I could tell he was breathing consistently, but he was snoring very, very heavily, and I was shaking him, trying to, you know, wake him up, smack him. It was clear almost immediately that was not going to be an option, and I could tell he was in real trouble.
What led you to him to start with, Richard?
So I was in the office area, and I heard one of the girls that had been in the room with him come running up the hallway screaming, "Come quick, something's wrong with Lamar." And so I took off running down the hallway, and as soon as I got in the room, that's where I found him. And, you know, I said, call 911, and then started working with him.
Was he clothed?
Yeah, he was wearing a T-shirt and you know, gym shorts.
So he was lying there, and you heard a snoring sound. Very quickly to Dr. Devi Nampuri Parampal, assistant professor, NYU. Dr. Devi, what that snoring sound was, and is not necessarily someone actually snoring from sleeping. You're seeing E's Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Is it, Dr. Devi?
It can be from sleeping, but most likely in this type of scenario, when the brain starts to lose some of its function, you can see abnormal breathing patterns. And that can happen either from, you know, if there was cocaine used, or from the supplements.
Back to Richard Hunter. So you hear the woman running down the hall screaming there's something wrong with Lamar. You run in there. You see him on the bed. What, did you have a cell phone, a portable phone, and you call 911 immediately?
Yeah, they had a portable phone, and I told the 911 operator that I did know CPR if I needed to do it, and they told me that because he was breathing, that wouldn't be necessary. But the most important thing was to support him, to keep him up on his left side until the paramedics got there. He's a giant person. Yeah.
We're showing photos right now of the room where Lamar Odom was found. Did you see, could you put up Richard Hunter quickly, please? Richard Hunter actually finds Lamar Odom. Did you see any evidence of drug use in the room, around the bed, on the bedside tables, on the dresser, on the chairs, on the floor, anywhere?
No, nowhere. And I was asking, too, the girls, and you hear this on the 911 tape, I said, you know, you've got to tell me specifically everything he could have possibly taken here, and I've got to convey that information to them.
Unleash Your lawyers, Troy Slayton, Renee Sandler from D.C. Troy, you're seeing E's Keeping Up with the Kardashians. First of all, to you, Troy Slayton, you just heard the elected sheriff say they have performed a search warrant on Lamar Odom's blood in the hospital. If there is cocaine in his system, will he be charged with possession of cocaine, Troy Slayton?
Well, they won't necessarily charge him with possession of cocaine unless they actually find the substance, but it's also a crime to be under the influence of cocaine. That's a felony in the state of Nevada. But what concerns me is that we could be discouraging people from calling for help. If somebody is in the throes of an OD or somebody is worried about getting prosecuted, we shouldn't be discouraging people from seeking medical attention because they have to worry about the sheriff coming after them.
Renee Sandler, in that jurisdiction and in most jurisdictions, if cocaine, heroin, any illegal substance is found in your blood, it is technically a charge of possession of cocaine. So do you foresee that happening if it turns up in his blood? They're basically, hey, thank God you're out of the coma. Now here's the handcuffs. Whap. Is that what's going to happen if that's in his system?
Look, it's possible, Nancy, but you also have to look at any synthetic herbal supplements that he was taking too, because that, in fact, is also illegal in many states.
That's not illegal. That is not illegal.
Nancy, you have to, from a pharmacological, toxicological standpoint, you have to analyze the substance. I don't think we know the information yet.
Well, I mean, that goes without saying. We're waiting for the blood test to come back. He's not going to get a felony rap off of 72 hours, staying hard, whatever it was. That is not a felony, last I looked.